Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
Hello, all you weebs, and welcome to Grappling with the Week, the show that brings you the hottest wrestling news and highlights from the steamy kitchens of NXT to the gritty, fast-paced action of AEW. We talk about it all and give you a big discussion piece to truly satisfy that hunger of wrestling content. Brought to you by Anime Studios and hosted by your weebs of the ring. Let's stomp a mud hole in this week and get right into the action. I am Drop This Box, as you guys know, the genius of the mat, and I am also here with my other two co-hosts when it comes to our world champion Watkins, who has been on this legendary reign as world champion. He's getting up there when it comes to Bruno Sammartino. He's really wanting to push and beat that record. How's it going, Watkins?
Oh, it is going glorious. You know, Bruno Sammartino wishes he had my kind of skills, but he's not with us anymore, unfortunately, so he can't really prove my statement wrong. I might be in heel mode still, so you might be getting some more heel promos from my end. But yeah, doing pretty good in my neck of the woods and all that, so I'm ready to kind of just talk about a lot of this stuff that happened this week, because we had a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely did have a lot of stuff happen when it comes to our wrestling news around AEW and WWE, when it comes to a lot of shocking things that me in particular didn't expect to see on NXT that particular day. And we'll dive into that a little bit later. But besides me and Watkins, we also have the Backstage Stan, as he's known on Grappling with the Week, Legend Vash. How you doing?
It's very glamorous to be here tonight. Very unexpected. It's great to see the Vision out here and have a glamorous type of setting to be here with three gentlemen talking about the world of professional wrestling, talk about the news, talk about the upsetting news, talk about the bold predictions some reporters be talking about out there, because sometimes they be stretching some news or they be needing to fact check, or who knows what in 18 months in pro wrestling world will be. Time will tell. The only thing that we got to be proud of is that Glamorous has arrived.
That is true. And we're going to give a lot of love to her a little bit later into the show, because I feel like that's the cherry on the top when it comes to one of the big things that really happened this week. And she definitely made a statement when it came to her overall presentation and the sort of goal that she wanted to achieve. Like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later, because we actually want to get into our Money in the Bank predictions when it comes to the 4 matches that we're getting on the card. Keep in mind, guys, this is the current match card, so we maybe when we're talking about SmackDown tomorrow, another match might be added. I don't really know what that could be. I mean, I feel like just leave it as it is. Just don't throw something on there and expect it to stick, because we saw what happened with that when it came to Saturday night's main event with a particular United States Championship match that didn't necessarily need to be on that card. So, yeah, like I mentioned, let's get into our Money in the Bank predictions. We're going to be talking about the women's IC title match. They had a great match at Backlash when it came to Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. This is going to be, I'm not going to label it as round 2. It's technically round 3, but I guess if you want to talk about the IC title picture, it's round 2. But yeah, Lyra Valkyria is putting her women's IC title on the line against Becky Lynch. And I'm going to go first, and I'm going to give my predictions, and then I'll pass it off to you guys. I'm going to say Becky Lynch, because I don't know what it is, but whenever WWE does that particular thing where it's like, oh, if I lose, I can't challenge for the title again. I don't know, for some reason, it always makes me bet on that one person in particular, where it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's probably where I'm thinking at that point. But I'm going to say Becky Lynch, because I feel like Lyra is going to be okay. I feel like it's probably going to be a sort of thing where she's going to chase and get the title back, because I feel like when it comes to her and Becky, they did pretty good. And Becky's initial goal when it came to this entire feud anyway was to really elevate Lyra, so she's in a better position than she was before, where she definitely succeeded in that department, which is something that was needed the most when it came to her character overall, because she really needed it around the time, and it definitely helped after that match that they had at Backlash. But I also feel like a certain other woman wants a shot at Becky, and you kind of have to start building towards that eventually. I know it was rumored, because I saw reports on particular matches that could be happening at Evolution, and I did see that this particular woman could possibly go up against Becky. Maybe an IC title's involved. Maybe it's just a one-on-one match without the title. Who knows? But I'm just going to play it safe here, and I'm just going to go with Becky. What about you, Watkins?
Yeah, I'm kind of going Becky too. Similar reasons. I think the only other time we've seen someone lose a match with these kind of stipulations is the only one that comes to mind is Cody. with the AEW World Title. And the only reason I say that, because like most of the time they have the extra caveat of, oh, as long as they're holding on to the title. But I can't recall if they've said that when it comes to like Lyra holding this IC title, whether it's like Becky can't challenge for the title as long as Lyra holds it, or if it's just Becky can't go for it at all, you know. But I mean, I'm still gonna go Becky, because like the other caveat too is like if Becky wins, Lyra has to raise her hand at the end of the match. And I think if Becky does win in a cheeky fashion, in like a cheating way, at forcing Lyra to raise her hand, it could lead to like, you know, Lyra getting her heat back after the match. And I mean, they'll probably get another rematch at Evolution, which would be pretty good. I would just say add like an actual stipulation to that, like. One thing that could be fun is a submission match between the two.
Yeah.
But there's that, and then I think what they really need to do, and this is no knock to Lyra either, but it's kind of something they need to do with the U.S. title as well with the women, is they need something to really elevate that title, you know. And I mean, as good as Lyra's been, she has been kind of put on the back burner in a lot of places. I mean, hell, WrestleMania, she was challenging for another title, you know.
Yeah.
And she was been in like constant like qualifying matches to get another title. So they could be going down the line where it's like we could be getting a Bailey Becky thing for the title too. And like again, Lyra can keep chasing and all that, because like she's finally gotten some sort of backbone and character since Becky's been around to challenge for the title, which has been good for Lyra. Just we need to keep capitalizing on that and keep building on that too. So maybe her dropping in and then chasing again, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So yeah, Becky.
For me, I'm on the same boat with Becky being the same choice. However, I have the caveat that unless Bailey comes in and interrupts the match or does a little payback, Lyra is my black horse for this. Lyra may win for this because of Bailey interfering to get a revenge on Becky. But if it's just straight win or loss, it's gonna be Becky winning. That's straightforward. You guys already spoke about it because we already had our girl Becky lose one, and it's all about the bragging rights. So I see Becky winning, no issues contest.
Yeah, I can see that definitely being a possibility, especially if they want to play into that whole thing leading up to Evolution or whatever unfinished business her and Becky have. So that's definitely a possibility there. The next thing that we're going to touch on is the tag match that's going to be happening at the event when it comes to John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, which is going to be our main event of that show. I will be honest, I am not really looking forward to this as much because, I mean, what they had last Friday, I mean, I really wasn't feeling it. I didn't really like that segment itself. I mean, it just didn't really do anything for me. And I understand this is just something they're doing in the meantime, just to stall until we get into the bigger moments when it comes to later in the summer, because I definitely expect, I don't know, I just have this weird feeling I'm expecting SummerSlam to be a lot better than WrestleMania this year just because it's their first 2-year show. Yeah, I'm really hoping. But yeah, I'm just going to come out and say that I feel like Cody and Jay are winning here. And I'm going to say Logan Paul's more than likely going to be the pin guy when it comes to the guy eating the pin in this match itself, because like I don't see John taking a pin. I don't see Jay taking a pin. They're both champions. Cody just came back. I don't really know if you really want him eating a pin right away. So either or Cody or Jay gets the pin on Logan Paul, and then we can finally move away from this and we can just, you know, focus on better things.
Yeah.
I agree with the same results, Cody and Jay, and I see Logan taking the pin, and I am on the same boat with like Drop. I don't give a flying fuck about this match. Not saying I don't like this match at all. I just don't see the point. But hey, if John Cena sees a vision of pushing Logan Paul or some story, or Logan's actually going to be staying here as an actual full-timer and actually be involved and trying to be main eventer, cool, good for you. Only time will tell. Let's see you actually do want to succeed in this role. If not, you will be kicked out and you will be shut out by the fans. We will literally boo you like we have done for Dominic and others. But Cody and Jay will win this. Logan will take the pin, and I'm not looking forward for this being the main event. I have a better match for the main event, and that's the next match that we're going to be talking about. That's the one that should be main event.
Okay. See, something funky's gonna go on during this match because there's a
But
reason.
what could it be?
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
thing, is like, what could it be?
Because it's weird. At least for me, it's weird that this is main eventing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not too weird, but you know, it is kind of weird, especially with no titles being on the line. Like the only title match we have so far on Saturday is the women's IC title. So
Yeah.
that's that. See, like the obvious answer is Cody and Jay, but the only thing I think about with that is it's like, okay, yeah, you get your big babyface win and all that, but like, how do we transition out of this? Like, how do we like start building up for SummerSlam and all that? And that's where I'm going with that.
Well, we also have
but
the Night of Champions as well next, so
See,
they have to
that's
build
what I'm
that up
getting at.
next.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Is it's like, you know, we have that event, and I think there's one other event too in July.
It's a Saturday night main event of that one.
Yeah, you know, so we've already got two other events before SummerSlam, before 2-night SummerSlam. It's like, how do we carry on for the next 2 months? Because like, if Cody and Jay win right here, then Cody should automatically go for John Cena, you know.
Yeah.
But I see that's what kind of keeps me from going Cody and Jay. But it's like what Drop said too. It's like Cody can't really eat a pin here because he just got back from losing at WrestleMania.
And Jay can't because he's about to versus Gunther on Monday.
Yes. Because, well, not only just that, he's the freaking world heavyweight champion, so he can't take a pin. He shouldn't take a pinfall. But like, I could also see them having him get pinned going into Monday, giving us that doubt and all that. Like, because that's the thing. WWE, current WWE right now are more focused about the next event when they're at an event. Like, they're more worried and focused about, okay, let's start setting up now for this next event coming up.
You're
So,
right.
like,
I'm a marketing the next event without being present. Like, it's kind of like the phrase that, like, hey, be present. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Be present to what we are now. Once tomorrow comes, we deal with the next project. So yeah, you're 100% right now, because they're all about building up. Like, okay, the win happens, but what's next? Like, is somebody going to do a power driver at the end of the show, and then we have to build that up? Because right now, a lot of people was hoping to see, I don't know if you guys saw the report, but people saw John Cena and AJ Styles might not have a match, but they are scared that they will pull off a good match. Backstage press was talking about it, and I'm like, so W people are scared that AJ Styles and John Cena will have a good feud? No shit. That's an obvious.
where'd you see that?
I saw that a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if I posted it, but yeah. So
Anyways, I mean, I'm still gonna go Cody and Jay, anyways. So
okay.
That's what I got.
All right, so now we're going to be moving on to one of the matches that I'm looking forward to out of the night, outside of the two that I mentioned, because I feel like these ones right here is what I'm paying attention to the most. So we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the participants is Rhea Ripley, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss. Pretty stacked match when it comes to the names that I mentioned, and I'm choosing Naomi for this match, and I'll explain why, but I want to go through the other ones briefly just to explain exactly why we know what they're doing, and they don't really need it. So it comes to Rhea Ripley. I feel like her just being in this match is just star power, and you have that whole thing with her and Io where she really wants to get a win over Io. To me, at the very least, I feel like if Rhea were to win this and cash in on Io, I don't know if it would be that satisfying to me for her to finally get that win over Io. I'd rather her, if she ever does, win it in a normal match without having Io weakened, and then she cashes in right there, because it's just been a story that's been playing out for years, ever since these two started competing against one another. I just feel like it's more satisfying for her to get that win over Io naturally than a cash in. Julia, I mean, that's self-explanatory with her. She already has things set up with Zelina Vega. She pinned her to get into this match. They teased it last SmackDown, so we already know what's going on with her. Stephanie Vaquer, that's definitely a dark horse, I could say, and I'm not entirely. I'll just label her as my dark horse here. Roxanne,
Roxanne, Dark Horse.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez, she has stuff going on with the Judgment Day. Naomi can make things interesting. Well, actually, I'll touch on her first, so she's my choice. Alexa Bliss, she has stuff currently going on with Charlotte Flair. You got to dive into that a little bit more when it comes to that certain storyline. But Naomi can make things interesting when it comes to her, when it comes to things going along with her and Bianca. Possibly she cashes in on Tiffany, she wins the belt. Maybe her and Bianca feud over the belt. Maybe that could be a certain thing you're going to dive into eventually when it comes to both of them, because her and Jade have butt heads. Her and Bianca haven't butt heads yet, so I feel like once Bianca's fingers all set, she's ready for competition and everything, you could dive into that eventually. And also Naomi said that, you know, she's planning on having kids soon, so I feel like it doesn't hurt to give her one last run with the belt, and then she can go on and do whatever, because when it comes to a lot of these ladies in wrestling, they don't always have the time to really sit down and do certain things. Like, certain ones do it, but sometimes you're on the road so much you don't really have time to do the things you really want. So that's also just a part of me looking deep in where I'm like, you know what, just give it to her. She's not getting any younger. Might as well just have her have another run. I feel like she definitely deserves it. If you really want to feel more into this heel character that she's in, I'd give it to Naomi. But yeah, that's my choice right there.
I'll have to agree with you, Drop there. Naomi is my choice also. I 100% agree. I remember us covering, or there was a few going around a couple months ago during WrestleMania season and before, where Naomi was doing a few interviews, and she did speak about having a child of her own, also taking retirement soon. So we know that this is her last run, and usually for any type of professional, you're raising a kid, you're out at least 3 years. You know, having the first kid, carrying the kid, newborn, raising the kid for a bit, and then you have to find the time for a babysitter. All that takes a bit of time. So even if the professional wrestler wants to come back, they got to make sure they're medically ready then to actually, you know, resume their career. A.k.a. like Becky Lynch and a few others have done that in their careers. Naomi's my choice. My dark horse, Roxanne Perez.
Not a bad one either.
No.
How about you, Watkins?
So here's the thing going into Money in the Bank. Because recently we got a report from I forgot the source of it, but we got a report saying that Triple H is not a big fan of the Money in the Bank concept. And you can kind of tell that just by how he's booked the Money in the Bank in the past like couple years. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was around the time when he started taking command that he had Austin Theory go for and fail a cash in for the US title. And like a lot of the times too, they kind of do at least one of the briefcases very quickly. So like going into this with that in mind, with like that story coming out, I don't have a lot of high hopes for these two matches. And
you think this one will be the fast cash in and the men's one will be the long one this time?
No, and if you let me speak with it.
Okay.
So I'm actually going Rhea Ripley on this one, and the reason I'm going Rhea Ripley on this is because of a couple things.
A purple briefcase and brutality.
No, one. We have yet to get a woman fail a Money in the Bank cash in, and I think Rhea Ripley being the first one, especially on somebody like Io, will just make her crash out just harder and just kind of give her more of a turn that she really kind of needs right now as a character. And then two, like if she does cash in successfully, that's something, because like that's the thing, like Rhea right now, she's starting to get into almost, she hasn't gotten there yet, but she's almost gotten to that desperation mode where it's just like she's almost reached that point where it's like, okay, I need to do whatever's necessary to get my title back, you know. And it's like, yeah, I could face Io at, you know, I could do the honorable thing and face her at like Evolution or something, or forget all that. I'm going to do what I want to do. Just kind of similar to what she was doing during the lead up to WrestleMania, whereas like, I'm just going to insert myself in all this. Yeah, I might have lost quote unquote clean, but I'm still going to insert myself. I'm still going to make sure that I get my title back. So I could see Rhea like being an opportunistic and cashing in on Io when she's least expecting it. But then, like, again, the whole idea of just having a failed cash in right there, and especially having it be like Rhea failing it, that's way more tantalizing to me than anybody else on this list. I think my second choice would be Naomi because of the exact reasons y'all were talking about with like her thinking about wanting to be a mother right now, kind of thinking about winding down, and also her character right now is really good. But I'm also on the suspicion that she might get screwed out of it by Jade, and
Yeah.
that's how we get to them facing off with each other at Evolution 2. So, and then like the others, I mean, like you said, Alexa has Charlotte as much as they need to actually build that up. Roxanne, Stephanie, and Julia still have time to like get main titles.
Yeah.
But they've also got things going on as well. And Stephanie, as much as they could hotshot her towards EO, I think her getting like earning that shot a little differently, other
Yeah.
than Money in the Bank, is also more tantalizing. So yeah, I'm going Rio.
Yeah, that makes
My
sense.
other dark horse I was going to mention was Alexa Bliss. That was my other dark horse because I would love to see that relationship with Charlotte and Alexa having the briefcase instead. And like, oh, Charlotte, you could have had this, but you never made it to Money in the Bank. Oh well, bye. Like, I would also like to see that type of interaction of her being salty as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heck.
Uh-oh.
But we have the last one, and
No,
my
no.
question to you guys.
No. I got it. I was just trying to type the time code.
I got you.
So we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, last match that we're going to be talking about. And we have El Grande Americano, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, Solo Sikoa, and Andrade competing in this match itself. And again, you got some pretty good names in there, -1. And I would probably have to say the person I want to win this match, and it could go either way when it comes to these two people, but I'm going to settle with this one because I feel like this other guy could still get what he wants, and nobody ever said you have to cash in right away. But I'm going to go with LA Knight mainly because it seems like they're making a pretty big deal as of late that this is his third time participating in this event. And I feel like one of the main reasons why you have Money in the Bank is also to establish new stars. Not saying LA Knight isn't a star, he is, but to really bring him to the next level and actually give him a creative direction outside of what he's doing right now, which is, what is it? So giving it to him, I feel like he can hold on to it for a bit. He can choose whatever he's going to do. We have the draft coming up whenever. He could easily cash in on Monday Night Raw because that's where I want him to go and start everything over. Yeah. And this could be something that could really happen with him next year. I don't really see a cash in happening with him this year. If he does it, I could see it happening next year because we have other things going on, which is why I mentioned the other guy, which is Seth Rollins, because if you really wanted to, and it makes sense story purposes, you could give it to Seth Rollins. That way he's pretty much has that golden ticket and he can cash it in whenever he wants to get that heavyweight championship, which is what he said to us when it comes to his mission statement. But I feel like when it comes to Seth Rollins, he doesn't necessarily need the Money in the Bank to get that because he could still get it regardless if hypothetically at SummerSlam him and Jay have a match and then they go up against one another and then he gets the title that way. That's just the sort of way I could see it playing down. Could it go down the Money in the Bank way? Sure. But I kind of rather see it go down the other way for Seth because I just feel like LA Knight really needs it out of a lot of these names. I understand the whole El Grande Americano thing, how he could potentially win it. I saw a lot of people bringing that around. That could be a failed cash in, whatever. I don't particularly see that happening. I feel like if anything, he's probably getting his ass handed to him by a lot of people on here. Just by looking, he's going to be eating a stomp, a BFT, a Mexican destroyer. He's going to be getting his thumb. He's going to honestly get the last message that he really needs to be involved in a WWE ring because I'm honestly tired of this guy and I'm hoping they do away with it soon. But yeah, LA Knight, I'm going to him.
I'm about just second veto. Everything that Drop said, he gave literally my thoughts perfectly. LA Knight is my choice, and also you have literally the event, the venue in Los Angeles. You already have it perfectly marketing for LA Knight. So, and my dark horse was Seth. So same thing like Drop said. Seth is the perfect choice, and I hope all 5 of these great gentlemen, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, Solo, and Andrade, beat the living shit out of a Gun Americano or whoever, Chad Gable or whoever the fuck that person is. Because timeline was hilarious. I said, wait a minute, this guy Monday, he don't have the neck tattoo. I'm like, you do know there's a thing called makeup they have in the locker room that they could do, but hey guys,
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, don't exist. But Watkins, what's your veto? Is it the same like us, LA Knight / Seth being the dark horse, or are you different like the previous one?
So remember my comment earlier about that story about Triple H not liking the Money in the Bank concept?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. The whole El Grande.
Oh yeah. Because I'm going El Grande Americano.
I hope not, bro. Bro.
This is,
if we do sidecast, I will flip. I will probably punch my computer on my laptop. No, I will not punch my PC. I'll punch my laptop because I don't mind losing that. Fuck no. If Grande wins, I will flip. I will motherfucking be mad. Right now I'm getting mad about it. Just even thinking about it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay quiet. Fuck that bullshit ass fucking no.
So this is as has come tradition with a lot of these predictions. This is my I dare you choice because you want to talk about like you want to really talk about like losing faith in your fandom. Give it to El Grande Americano, and not only that, have him cash in on Vikingo later on in the year and have him have that AAA title. But see here's the thing with it. Here's the spicy thing with it too. Imagine not only El Grande Americano, an ultra mega heel when it comes to luchadors.
I gotta share this on our screen. Holy fuck!
Oh, please do. Imagine the star that's made for the person who beats him for that title.
Yeah,
like the person in AAA will be a made man by beating, and hopefully for a mask versus mask match.
Honestly, yeah.
Or a mask title, like, oh, we're getting that tomorrow? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. Now, see, that's what my heart wants. My heart wants LA Knight. My brain could see Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But man, again, I want to test it. I want to test you, WWE. I want to test you, Triple H. Do it. I dare you. I flipping dare you. Set the world on fire. Let your fandom implode on itself.
It's gonna be it's gonna be the exact same thing I saw on Tuesday when JC had her segment. They had a whole bunch of people showing their reactions online of her winning the title and how they were just completely blown away by it. Like, really, is this happening? They're gonna do some sort of video package on Monday if it were to happen, where they're gonna show everybody's reactions. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, it's definitely in the cards. Like, I can see it, and if we want to play into that thing that he said, I mean, that's definitely one way to play into it very well. Comes to him not caring about it.
The other thing I look at it with it too, because Chad, taking the whole joke aside from it, Chad Gable is going to be part of the Worlds Collide event, not El Grande Americano, and yet like they have him switch. Like, you would think El Grande would be part of Worlds Collide, but they have it swithed for a reason. Yeah. And that reason might be so El Grande wins that Money in the Bank briefcase.
He's currently,
everybody's pissed.
I remember when we were looking over his win to loss ratio, he's currently 7-0 too. So it's like, as much as I want to look at it as a meme and just play along with it, I can't really say it can't happen because it's definitely there.
And especially with like the ill will that just keeps coming from this company, like time and time again, like it just, I dare you.
Anyway, let's talk about the greater wrestling media drop. Let's talk about this. What has been happening, this greatness of this week?
Yeah, so pretty much when it comes to the greater wrestling media, this segment is mainly used for highlighting any promotion we went to, news we want to discuss, interesting documentaries or interviews from the week, or anything else in the grand scale of pro wrestling. So we're going to first dive into our injury corner because we do have two things to go over when it comes to that particular thing. And that comes from Joaquin Wilde, where he actually suffered a major injury on a speed taping. I found this out on Monday. I didn't really know about it at first until a couple friends told me about it, because there was because they typically tape these speed things and they show it on like what, Thursday or whatever, Wednesday. Thursday.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting injured there. I'm not entirely sure what the injury is. I didn't really look into the report right away. I'm not entirely sure if there's any sort of report out there talking about it as of yet, but I do know that he was originally supposed to be a part of the tag event that was happening at Worlds Collide, but he's going to be replaced by can't pronounce
Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah,
Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah, Lindsay Dorado. And pretty much just diving a little deeper into this report, if my computer
For some reason the link isn't working.
Yeah,
So
it's redirecting.
apologies for that.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I'm here like
Okay.
it keeps saying it's broken. I can't reach it.
Because
I'm gonna post a new link for you guys. And I'll just put it in our chat here.
I'll open it up on my phone.
Yeah. But yeah. Are either of you familiar with Lindsay Dorado while I'm getting this up?
No.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I saw the picture and everything. I believe a few of the people was actually on the NXT taping this past Tuesday. A few of them were actually there for presenting or representing for the match. So a few of them, I think, was their opponents. Which in my head, I was crying and laughing because you could tell this is like a lucha style type of match. Like with the type of gimmicks they were. I believe one of them had a fucking like a snake thing or so like a green cobra type of thing that kind of remind me of our boy Santino. And I'm like, this is such a fucking lucha libre type of match. Like this is such a gimmick. I was like, oh my god, my Latinos. Why?
Yeah, so I have the report right here, and it says from Cultaholic, former WWE star Lindsay Dorado will replace the injured Joaquin Wilde at the upcoming Worlds Collide event. The change was revealed on last night's edition of NXT when WWE displayed an updated graphic for the match. Wilde was scheduled to team up with Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro to take on Triple H trio of Aerostar, Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana, but was knocked out during his speed match of Lexus King prior to this past Monday's edition of Raw, and has been removed from the show. So that's unfortunate news. Hopefully he's able to recover and he's able to get back on his feet again and he's able to continue what he was doing, because I was looking forward to seeing how that match plays out for that event itself, because I will be watching the Worlds Collide event. We're not going to be covering on here. We're going to be watching it in our free time. If we want to tweet about it or whatever, we'll do it. But
probably on Grappling next week episode, we'll probably do a coverage of or let's say highlights, but not really. So don't hold your breath, guys. If we do something, you'll probably see like a social media post. Yeah, exactly. But maybe most likely Grappling the week, we'll probably take a little 5-10 minute. Yeah. If any of us sides to do a quick little conversation, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah, but any short thoughts you guys have on this, or?
I mean, sucks for Joaquin Wilde, but hopefully he gets better. And nice to see Lindsay Dorado on TV because he was part of the Lucha House Party for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, he was part of that group, and then he's been working as a coach backstage. So yeah, just good for him to be doing some stuff.
May I talk about the next years because I just want to laugh.
All right, yeah, that's fine. So pretty much we have some news on Goldberg because he's supposed to be having a retirement match this year, apparently. So it says right here, Goldberg says that he's injured himself a couple times and is extremely limited due to his left knee, and as a result, can't run without feeling pain while training for his retirement match. He said he's blown his shoulder out, blown his bicep out, and pulled a hamstring from throwing high kicks. So just looking at this report itself, I guess don't do the retirement match anymore, because I knew it was gonna happen next month at Saturday Night's Main Event, because it is in Atlanta, Georgia. So I mean, if you're having all this come out, don't do the match, especially if you're going up against somebody like Gunther. Which Gunther honestly probably use it as his advantage to just put you out of your misery there.
Just squash him. at that point.
At that
Like-
point, it would be a squash match. Yeah.
It has to, because right now I had to search up while Jaw was talking. I had to search up. It said, quick reminder, chat. Goldberg age is 58 years old. He's about to be 59 this year. Next year he's about to be 60 because he was born in December 27th. So he's a late birthday. So he's about to be 59 the end of this year, chat. And look, once you read the goddamn fucking report by Carcast, he literally says he thinks he's blowing out his shoulder out, blowing his bicep out, and pulled a hamstring throwing high kicks. Bro, Penta has his left bicep still blown out, and he's still wrestling, does what he does. Bro, he is 58 years old, Goldberg. Do not even think about doing retirement match. Don't even think about you doing any activities with your kids. Because if you have 3 things that you already can't even do, one of your major muscles, your hamstring, your biceps, and your shoulder, bro, you are out of shape. You cannot do shit. I'm 29 years old. I am blessing to my skies that I got a wife and massage therapist, because I do a lot of hard labor work in my day job in the work production. So coming home and my wife could just literally massage me for free then, and of course I do the cooking, so helps balance out. I get easy access. Goldberg, why the fuck are you so injured and don't even use your physical therapy, your massage therapy, anything? Because my God, just staying at this. Don't fucking fight. Just retire already. That's it. Just call it a day. You're 58.
Yeah.
Don't be a Chris Jericho.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to say other than if he does actually do it, have it be a squash match.
Please, 100%.
Obviously, you can't do your spear or jackhammer. We know from, the match with The Undertaker, 5 years ago? Barely? Like, you almost injured The Undertaker at that point.
Yeah.
You're good, dude.
I'm good. Thank you. I don't need you on my screen. I'd rather see Joaquin Wilde more on my screen than rather you, Goldberg. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So let's just move on from Goldberg. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is Mariah May, because I talked about her a little bit earlier once we first started the stream, and she made her official debut in WWE during a episode of NXT, and I'll dive into that a little bit further just to reference it once we get to my quick NXT coverage. I really don't want to spend too much time on that, but yeah, she's a part of the company, and there is a report that she is supposed to be getting a new name. I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt just to see where it goes, because but she I, at the very least, keep Mariah. Don't change that. That's one thing I will say. If you want to do something, the thing that's funny about this, though, now that I think about it, is that Ricky could have kept his name, because I remember I saw an interview. He could have kept his name, but he wanted to
but he
change
chose
it.
to change it, right?
He chose to change it himself. And I did see interviews with her, and I know her actual last name is Mariah Mead, but she chose to name herself Mariah May. I think it had to do something with her grandmother, and also because it's her middle name as well. Because I saw a video going around today talking about her, what her wrestling name would be if she ever were to make it into WWE. And this is like an old video.
Did I
came
see
out
the
a few years ago.
As well, that her name might be Maria Saint, which I was laughing. I don't know if that was a joke or not.
No,
that was a Wessel Votes thing.
Oh yeah,
that's a Wrestle Votes.
that was definitely a joke. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I laugh because it's like that's gonna be Ricky Saint's sister or something in the storyline. I was like, really?
Nah.
Really,
Maybe.
guys understood it?
Yeah.
Which I was laughing because after that, in the comment section, they also said that everyone from AW should just change their name to Saints, so everyone's related. We have Cody Saints and everything, but
yeah. So yeah, whatever. Just at the very least, if it happens, just keep Mariah at the very least. That's all I really care for.
Yeah. So a couple things with this, because I actually found this out this week. So
what's up?
Tom Campbell from Cultaholic, he actually did an interview with Riley Osborne, who was one of the NXT guys who left the company not too long ago, and we actually found out through that interview that the process that NXT stars go through to choose their names, basically they're given a list of first names and a list of second names, and they basically like choose from those two lists of what they want to do or what they want to go as and all that. So that's actually how Riley Osborne found that out. And the reason behind Osborne is actually kind of funny, but I'll tell that at a later day. Because my second thing here is in my one wrestling group chat, we actually had some fun the other day with what Mariah May's new names could be, and I just wanted to read this list down really quick because we had to go through the calendar with this one. So Mariah May could always go by the following: Jessica June, Debbie December, Sarah September, Olivia October, Nancy November, Amy August, Farrah February, Jenny July, Megan March, and April, and Janice January. So hey, Mariah May, there's some choices for you. Whichever ones you like, you're welcome to have them. Just pay me $5. Or give me a Nintendo Switch too. Either one.
Yeah.
Goes from $5 to $5.50.
Hey man, it depends on which one she picks, but
Great choices. I've heard of that as a naming process because I heard that when it comes to also some authors, when they're stuck on names, they also play around with, James Jonah, Jameson, Peter Parker. A lot of the names that we have in the Marvel Universe have a lot of the first initials being the same as the last initials. So we know some creators did the same thing over there. So
yeah.
It's pretty interesting to always hear that and use that as a groundwork because it's always pretty interesting. So I'm okay. Hopefully, I agree with Drop as well. Hopefully, she keeps the name Mariah May. I mean, Mariah, like the first name. If she changes to May, it sucks because I kind of like the run on like Mariah May, and also my birthday's in May, so it kind of works out too and easy to remember. It would be funny if her name is Mariah Glamorous. It would be funny.
Yeah. So like I did when I mentioned that video before, she was mentioning like how she'd like she kind of liked the whole thing, which like a triple M thing. So if you really wanted to incorporate the whole Mariah May thing, you could have just do Mariah May lead, because at least in a way you kind of keep her first, middle, and last. You could just go by the Mariah May thing, but also she's a huge Triple H fan, and that's one reason behind that.
She's a big Papa H girl.
Yeah. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is going to be our hot topic, because this was really big throughout the weekend. I should say like Sunday. This is when the news came out, and I remember waking up seeing this. It completely caught me off guard. But just to give you a quick rundown, just in case you're new here when it comes to Grappling of the Week, Hot Topic is basically a bigger discussion piece for the episode where we dive deeper into a news piece when it comes to either a PLE or pay-per-view from a show outside of the main roster, WWE, or a typical conversation overall on a company, a talent situation. And when it comes to this conversation right here, we're talking about R-Truth. So basically, we talked about before, we're just going to be talking about like the aftermath of this, because a lot of you guys were aware of whatever transpired this week. So we don't really need to bring that up as, oh yeah, this just happened. We basically want to talk about the aftermath. But yeah, like I mentioned, R-Truth, he got released from WWE, pretty shocking. And there was something that it's just really weird, man, because it's like he was one of the people that I personally saw staying with the company forever. I thought maybe this was going to be one of those things, maybe a Legends contract, whatever, but it caused a huge shitstorm. And rightfully so, because it's like, out of all people, this happened, and you still see it today. Countless conversations talking about it. But which one of you guys want to, shed your thoughts on that first? Watkins.
I mean, because there's a lot that goes into this. Because like throughout the week, you've seen like different people reacting to it, whether it was stars, fans, or people just in the business.
Yeah.
Nobody thought R-Truth was gonna be taken out of the company, and like he wasn't alone in all this. We had Sarah Logan and Carlito in there, but like, nothing against those two. It's just like, Sarah Logan really hasn't done too much with the company, and it seems like she kind of wants to do some other things with her life anyway. So, more power to you, Sarah Logan. And Carlito, he already wasn't really wrestling too much on TV. I know he was doing like a bunch of house show stuff, but really wasn't doing too much on TV besides being comic relief. So his didn't really shock me. But like with R-Truth, I mean, for one, he had just wrestled John Cena, which came out that, Cena chose R-Truth for Saturday Night's Main Event to, I guess, kind of coerce the company to be like, hey, keep him, please. He's good. He's fun. Keep him around on your payroll, please. So yeah, it's so weird. And then like just the aftermath from it too, like reports coming out saying, oh, nobody needs to be on camera with an R-Truth shirt or anything related to him, where like we had Dominic wearing a Carlito shirt on Raw, like for us to see, but nothing with R-Truth. Like that's why people were thirsting over freaking Rhea Ripley on Monday night, just being in their sports bra. Because like when you see a picture of her earlier in the day, she was wearing a freaking R-Truth shirt.
Yep.
And so like no merchandise for him at all. Granted, he was the one to give you like all this money in the past couple weeks with his Ron Cena shirt. You know, like, are you gonna kick people out of the freaking stadium for wearing those shirts now?
Exactly.
Like, what is going on here? And like, it's very telling when people like JBL are coming out being like, "What the fuck is this company doing?" Like, even him, like
that.
I mean,
and there's also Mark Henry as well.
Me. Yeah, like him, Mark Henry. I mean, all these legends in the business are like, wait, he's a lifer. Why is he getting kicked out like this? And like, why are you treating him like this too? Like, that's the other kicker. Like, it's one thing to like not renew the guy's contract. It's another to like almost erase him from the company. Yeah. Like, you guys aren't Eam over here. You're not trying to just pull out a freaking One Piece thing where it's like, oh, we need to just erase him from like the whole freaking map. It's like, he's freaking R-Truth, man. Like, he's one of the biggest things in your company, like one of the most fun things on your company. And I know I've had my things with R-Truth, and that's just because, you know, sometimes getting too much of a good thing can kind of sour you on it a little bit. But like, just hearing the outpour from the talent too, being like, wow, he was a bright light in this company. Like, it's just more of that like ill will towards the WWE now. And it's like, and I saw something too this week. It was from Carl Anderson, who was also recently released from WWE. I believe it was on his podcast or another podcast, but he made a comment, and I feel like there's some weight behind this, where it's like, this isn't WWE anymore, it's TKO.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there's some weight behind that, because ever since this year, and I know I'm a broken record when I say it, but like, there's been something about this year in particular where it just does not feel like the same WWE. I could have swept a bunch of things from last year under the rug. Fine, cool, whatever. It was still really hot. But there's something about 2025 WWE where it's not the same.
No, it doesn't feel good.
There's a lot of corporate things going on. There's a lot of like odd decision making going on. And I mean, everybody wants to point to, Royal Rumble when Jay won. It's just like, I would go earlier. I would go to that Netflix premiere and how that went down.
Yeah.
The moment The Rock came out there and did his little bullshit promo, that was the beginning of the end right there in 2025. That was when everything started going downhill, when he was just like, oh yeah, me and Cody are bros. It's like, what?
Since when?
What? Okay.
Look, I'd like to jump in and add, like, I'm not saying I'm the same boat and, you know, riding on the going merry and we're all headed to the Grand Line together. But I am on the Grand Fleet. I'm starting to see the vision and understanding, because when R-Truth got released, I felt a bit, not saying hurt, like I was hurt by, you know, by Dakota Kai, you know, Shayna Baszler, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, where I was, you know, happy to see these people on TV, but not being used or not being booked. They're just in catering, they're just taking pictures, they're just in makeup and doing whatever they're doing, but not being on TV where they could be showcased for the tag team division or for the IC title or whatever. But once I see Braun Strowman getting released, but then having a TV programming part of WWE later this year by Braun Strowman, so later this year he has to still market that. He still has to be going around with them, so that's going to be questionable when the time comes. And then we have R-Truth that who is a beloved fan by the fans, by the audience. Like Walker's brought up, you have him also have a great match with John Cena. That's what makes me question, why would you release him? It gave me a sour taste in my mouth to even watch Raw that night of the next day. I didn't even feel like watching it. I didn't feel like covering it. I still cover it because it's great to talk to the team here. I have great people that I'm surrounded with that even if we're not interested, we will make it interested to some capacity and talk about it. Hey, even if it's 45 minutes without the intro song or a good hour with the intro song. So at the end of the day, we still did the discussion. But still feeling how we feel about a product that any three of us have been watching it for 15, 20 plus years, but then we're seeing it kind of change its direction. At the end of the day, as somebody who works in the entertainment industry, I see the business. I get the business. But when you forget that the business started because of the thousands of fucking fans being behind you for the past 41 years, where you have 41 WrestleManias. That's how you know how long you've been in the business. And as a fan of myself, can I even go to the Barclays Center or Madison Square Garden because your upper nosebleed tickets are even costing $300? The reason these things were called nosebleed is because they were supposed to be like $50, $80. It's supposed to be the bad tickets. But now even the bad tickets are costing $300. It loses its value. And when R-Truth, one of the biggest stars, being lost, and you have everyone questioning and scratching their fucking ass online, why would you release him? Why would you do this? What's the biggest hidden message? And what sucks is when the reports literally says, oh, is NXT Co-op led to the main roster releases early May? As the people I said earlier, let go, things are supposed to kick off and other people are supposed to be released. Like, why R-Truth is one of those chosen people? Why couldn't you offer him a Legends deal? Other Legends people, if you don't want to use them on the roster, you can literally have R-Truth literally represent you guys while he travels, while he still goes makes music. He has all these connections. But no.
Yeah, this caught me. This caught me off guard. It didn't really make any sense at all, and it's just like I told Watkins like a little bit earlier. It's like it's starting to pull me away a little bit when it comes to my overall enjoyment. Like, obviously, we have our moments here and there when it comes to certain things that transpire in the product, but 2025 is definitely the weakest that WWE has been ever since they started this whole new administration. Like, it doesn't even feel like it. You could honestly just call it like TKO at this point. Just get rid of WWE entirely. That's honestly how it feels. And we're not the only people that feel this way. There's literally like other content creators that feel this way. There's other fans that feel this way. A lot of people are in agreement, and this isn't like one person in particular. A lot of people are in agreement that this is a pretty weak year, and I don't blame them. I mean, look at the build up to WrestleMania. We spoke highly about how weird that was around that time period, but it's like they're making a lot of questionable decisions. It's like R-Truth of all people, you get rid of him, and then another name just to throw in here, you know, Carlito's gone as well. You got Sarah Logan gone, which, you know, I guess they weren't really doing much of her to begin with, and she just wants to focus on her family and everything. That's fine, but they're just making a lot of questionable decisions. Because when I woke up that Sunday morning, or whenever I saw that report, it definitely was. I definitely do recall seeing when I first woke up. It was just so weird. It almost felt like I was in the Twilight Zone, where I was like, okay, is this someone? I thought at first it was somebody pretending to be Truth, just going along, because I know there's a lot of people online that make these fake accounts of the wrestlers, and they just change like a certain letter or put an underscore to make it look like, oh yeah, this is the person. They have the blue check mark and everything, but no, this is from Truth itself, and it's just weird. And then the fact that you can have people supporting their friend backstage, that's also weird, because if you want to go by that sort of logic, how come Carlito was getting some sort of representation on Monday Night Raw? Yeah. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Carlito, people are, those members of the roster are able to wear some Carlito thing, showing him some tribute in the Judgment Day and everything. But R-Truth, he gets like the short end of the stick, the person who does everything for you. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of questionable decisions. And as much as I hate to say it, I feel like this isn't going to be the last time we have this conversation, because they're going to continue on making a lot of weird, questionable decisions. Because we even had something come out as well when it comes to Karrion Kross just basically talking about his whole whereabouts when it comes to his contract situation. I saw a report from Fightful yesterday saying that it's coming up soon in the summer, but there hasn't really been any conversations talking about it. And you look at how Karrion Kross is right now, he's getting a reaction. People actually give a fuck when he comes out. Even that segment that he had on Monday Night Raw, people the crowd popped when they saw him. So it's like, this is what the guy needed for so long. It's here, and you're not doing anything with it. It doesn't make any sense in the slightest. He has the whole package. He has the promo. He has the entrance. He has the girl. He's the whole shebang. And like, you could really do something with this guy right now if you really want to. And then I feel like another one that might hit me almost as hard as Truth, or maybe I might feel around the same way as well, is if something ever happens to the Miz. Because Miz is another one that I saw being a lifer as well, where when it comes to the support that he gives the company and everything he does behind the scenes and everything, and I know he also has a contract coming up towards the end of this year, sometime towards some point in this year. I do recall seeing his contract being up eventually. And imagine if somebody like that walks away too. It's like, okay, what the fuck are you going? Yeah. And if you look at how things are with Mello on Fridays as well, when it comes to teasing that sort of thing, where it's like they're teasing the breakup between the both of them. What if after that breakup officially happens, where is Miz going to go? Are they going to make another questionable decision and let him go? Is that like an early sign showing us what's going to happen?
Well, the thing too with like the Miz is when the R-Truth stuff came out, he like deleted a lot of WWE stuff from his social media.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like, that's why people were like talking about the Miz. Like, wait, what's going on with the Miz? Like, because like you said,
it's just bad timing.
And it's just like, why? What is going on? Why is WWE making these decisions or these possible decisions? Because like the thing with the Karrion Kross thing that was coming out is WWE hasn't even tried yet, apparently, to re-sign him or to negotiate a new contract.
You're not approaching one.
Yeah, that's usually the sign of like, oh, they're just going to let it run out. But they haven't said anything. Karrion hasn't said anything. So it's going to come to a point where his contract just probably runs out and he's just going to be gone for the company. And it's going to suck because like Karrion Kross came back when Triple H came back. Like Triple H brought him back as a big middle finger to the previous regime to be like, hey, this is a guy. This is one of my guys that I can and want to push. Because I'm pretty sure that was the same year that he had that feud with Drew McIntyre and all that, you know? And I mean, he lost the cage match and all that with him. And they had that strap match. I was whatever. But like, that's the thing. That was when he came back. You could have built upon that. But ever since then, they've barely done anything with him. Yeah, they had the whole Final Testament thing, but that didn't go much anywhere either. Because then they got rid of all of them and moved the Wyatts to SmackDown for some godforsaken reason. Like, anytime Karrion Kross got hot, they would just cool him off. For what reason? And it's like the same reason, tied us back all the R-Truth, it's the same reason why you guys trying to erase R-Truth. Like, what is the reason behind all of this? And I dare them to say it's money. Like, they tried to pull that reason about, like, why they kicked R-Truth to the curb. Okay, if that's the case, then stop freaking promoting that you're making all this money. Because it's great that you're making all this money, but how is it that you're making all this money, but you're not keeping some of these people? Is that how you're making all this money? Like, these are the same criticisms we had for Vince McMahon back in the day. Whenever he would tout, oh yeah, we're making all this good money. And it always came around the time when they released talent that he would come out and be like, yeah, WWE's making all this great money. It's just like, are you though? Are you though? And see, that's the whole kicker with all of this. Is the fact that they are still making money, even though they're making all of these weird decisions.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't at all. And it makes me question, why am I even giving the product the time of day anymore? Like, and I don't want to feel that way, because I got to that point one time where it's just like, I'm just following this because I give a shit about some of the talent. Like, I like some of this talent, but I want to support them, and the only way I can is by supporting this shitty company, you know?
Yeah, and you even have this like little small thing that I'll touch on. I won't spend too much time on it.
Yeah.
But even the thing with like Jonathan Coachman coming out, where he made a bold prediction saying that he even thinks Triple H might be forced out of WWE within 18 months. Like, this is a quote coming
Crazy
from
bold one.
his podcast saying, we predicted that within 18 months, Triple H would not be running WWE anymore. I actually feel kind of bad for him because I've always really, really liked him. And, you know, like Vash said, that's a very bold claim to make. And if honestly, if it does come to this point, it's not WWE anymore. And it would be incredibly fucking stupid, regardless how you feel about the guy, because he has his ups and he has his downs. Nobody's perfect. That I understand. Because if it wasn't for him, I mean, when it comes to these early stages of where we were, I mean, we wouldn't have, I mean, compared to what he's done, it's a million times better than what Vince was doing with the product, which gave AEW the advantage at the time. Not throwing any shots at them, but they pretty much, they went in at the right time where WWE was falling apart to really build up their brand to bring them to where they are now. So it's like, I mean, I don't see this happening. This would be incredibly fucking stupid. And this would probably be one of the biggest stories that would come out of wrestling in quite some time. If this were to happen after Triple H takes the stage and then TKO takes over, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see The Rock running creative, because God forbid that fucking happen, because I know that's something that's been brought. I'm not going to be able to watch this fucking shit. It's going to turn into another situation whenever The Rock touches something, and Vash spoke about it in a podcast episode a couple months ago about whenever The Rock touched the DC universe. I mean, look where the hell that went. Look at basically anything, like where it goes.
Nowhere.
It's not going to go anywhere, and I feel like that could be a potential thing if Triple H is gone. What other big star are they going to put in here to really fill the shoes? And I don't want to see that. I don't, and that's why I like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and I mean, you got till 2027 for that prediction to come true.
Yeah.
Because it's already June of 2025. A year and a half from now, yeah, that's 2027. So, see what happens with that. It just sucks, man. It just really just sucks. That's all I got. That's all I got.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm saying, that's a very bold prediction. It's gonna be interesting. 2027 of January is gonna be interesting if Triple H is still in the Rams.
Yeah, which I'm pretty confident he will, because they do something like that. I mean, I'd be completely blown away by that. But now we're gonna move on to the last bit of news before me and Watkins touch on AEW and NXT, and I even spoke about earlier. I'm not going to spend too much time on NXT, and I know Watkins mentioned that with AEW because it was a pretty long show, and I don't blame you for like falling. I don't blame you for like falling asleep, because that's a lot. And plus, the same shit's happening next week. But honestly, I feel
like, is that another 4 hours next week for Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wait, another 4? Why? Why is there an 8-hour show back to back?
Because we need to have a pay-per-view event on free TV.
Yeah.
Even though our main event is Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I saw what that main event was.
But but just to touch on this thing by Cedric Alexander, which honestly, I feel like just looking at the document itself, I could pretty much give a clear answer. But Cedric Alexander said he wanted WWE to bring back the Cruiserweight title. No, because they have way too many titles now. I just don't feel like it's needed. That's honestly all I have to really say about that, because it's like, okay, so you just have
it's called a Speed Champion.
That's what I'm saying. It's just way too many titles. You throw this back in here, even though he was vouching for it and everything. I mean, we don't really need it. We don't really need it.
Look, we could have Cruiserweight, but if that was the case, we had Ricochet at the time. We had Mysterio. Not Dominic. We had a few people that could have been Cruiserweight, but that's what the Speed Champion is like your champion for a month or two with the Speed title. We saw it for the first time on NXT, but that's about it. Like, we barely see it on any type of TV type of showing. We only see it on social media. And hey, Cedric, if you want Cruiserweight, the Speed Champion is that version. As I see with my perspective.
Yeah, you can vouch for that. I mean,
my thing is just, hey, they tried again with the Cruiserweight title and failed for a reason, because they didn't know how to really fully incorporate it. So yeah, it just sorry, buddy. Like as fun as those matches are, and as much as you were, because he was the heart of 205 Live, if I remember.
Yeah, he
'Cause, like,
was.
it was like him and Mustafa Ali were like the heart and soul of that place. So like, I get why he would want it back, but yeah, no, it would just be wasted in this day and age.
Yeah, especially with what everything's going on right now. I can only imagine they threw that thing in there again.
Yeah.
So
but let's talk about recovers.
Yeah, so the next thing we're gonna touch on happens to deal with Ric Flair when it comes to a controversial tweet that he made towards JR, and he doubled down on the tweet as well when it comes to everything that was going on. I remember when I saw this, it really pissed me off because I mean, just Ric Flair's just a piece of shit. So we're gonna just dive into exactly like what went on here when it comes to this old dirtbag. So it says right here, this is coming from Cultaholic. Ric Flair currently Ric Flair currently enjoys spending plenty of his time embroiled in controversies, and his latest one stems from just one tweet following the news of Jim Ross's cancer treatment being a success, which I'm very happy about that. With him being treated for colon cancer, Ric Flair decided to give his 2 cents on the situation in a tweet. Jim Ross always be Jim Ross, seeking attention, focus on your recovery at JR's barbecue. Flair received a lot of backlash and slack from those on social media who deemed the comment unnecessary, insensitive, and offensive, and the multi-time world champion would delete the tweet shortly after the wave of criticism emerged. However, Flair would return to X with another post, not to apologies, but instead to double down. If you can't take a joke from a 76-year-old man, then you are living life too seriously. It was all harmless, lighthearted fun. Just try to make people laugh and smile. Flair and Ross have known to have beef and issues for many years, so it isn't known whether or not Flair's original post was indeed lighthearted. Ross had suffered from, it is basically just going over other illnesses and stuff. But the moral of the story here is, it's like, just shut the fuck up, dude. Like, don't even bother. If you're not gonna say anything nice, don't say anything nice. And like, even with like second tweet that he said, because I didn't really see this come out of it. I did see the original one that he posted online, but it's like, I just feel like he's just trying to cover up, or he's just trying to cover up. He's trying to play it off as like dark humor, because I know some people are into that sort of shit. Me in particular, I don't really care for that kind of humor. But yeah, he was basically like just trying to play it off. Like, oh no, guys, it's fine. I was just trying to make a joke. But it's like, you got to look at what's currently going on right now. I mean, the guy's life was on the line when it came to everything that was currently going on. We're happy that his surgery was a success and he was able to win the fight. But it's like, if you notice like something serious is going on with somebody, like, why would you come out of your way and make something like that? And especially with the report says about them having previous beef, if you even take that into account, I mean, if he makes a comment like that, it could just be a lot of people looking at it where it's like, yeah, he's just trying to continue on digging himself a bigger grave when it comes to everything else he's said over the years. I mean, I still remember that fucking pizza incident. I saw that whole fucking clip.
See, like, my thing with his tweet, it's like, it's one thing if it's gonna be a joke, but that's more of a joke that you do like in private around the people that would understand the joke. Not in like a public setting like social media where millions upon millions of people will see it and take it not as a joke. Like, come on, dude. Just like what you said, you're a 76-year-old man. Just get off social media, dude. Just get the fuck off of there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh my gosh.
You have any comments on this, Vash, before we move on from this old dirtbag? Or
What? That's all I got.
Neat.
Yeah, more of the story, Rick, is John Cena's the 17-time champion, so he erased you from history, so we shouldn't even give a fuck about your ass anymore.
Gosh.
So now we're going to be touching on some things when it comes to the mixed reactions to WWE Evolution 2, which I am excited for the event. I am curious to see what will come out of that. Hopefully the women get a good showing, because they definitely deserve it, and I am also a huge fan of women's wrestling, so I am happy about this. But we want to dive into something that was quite interesting that came out of everything surrounding this. So it says right here, this is according to Cultaholic. After a few months of rumblings and rumors last week, WWE officially announced the return of the all-women's Evolution Premium Live event, booking the event for Sunday, July 13th at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, the same weekend as AEW All in Texas. Okay, I can, or just reading this, I can see where this is going. WWE also announced alongside with a Saturday night's main event and NXT Great American Bash. This marks the first Evolution show since 2018. Fightful Select has learned that some of the internal reactions to the upcoming show, and they're not all positive. There were some who took exception with the curtain call element of the show, with it being said that it isn't something that would happen for the men's roster in WWE. Additionally, Evolution is taking place on the same day as Beyonce's concert, which is happening nearby. So there are those on the WWE roster who believe that if the show performs badly against it, then it would give WWE the justification to not do another Evolution PLE. There have also been some positive reaction, particularly from legends who are said to be being brought in, who are looking forward to more women being showcased and hope that the incorporation of legends can help boost the division. The general lull in excitement stems from the overall booking of women's division as of late too, with there being less excitement and buzz compared to the last Evolution show. The reason why I made that comment earlier, where I feel like this is going, is I also heard something going around. I'm not entirely sure if it was a direct source, but I also heard a lot of people, actually, no, never. Yeah. I heard a lot of people saying that some of the women kind of felt like it was a little off how this is happening the day after All In. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. I'm gonna just say because my thoughts are short since I wasn't here for the first Evolution. I believe that happened when I wasn't here watching Pro Wrestling WWE because I think the first Evolution happened 2018, 2019.
2018.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't here watching, so for sure I did not see that. I did not witness it, so I would definitely make the time to look back before the new one appears, so I could see the history. But my only quick comment is, I understand the confusion, the marketing strategy. You can blame the WWE where they probably want to compete. They probably want to take the Beyonce one. I get because if y'all don't understand music, Beyonce is her own fucking triumph. She is her own type of entourage. She has her own fandom, and people will choose. My assumption, people will choose Beyonce over a WWE event. If it's close by, just have maybe the event earlier and maybe invite Beyonce. Pay her, maybe bring some hype, probably bring some fans. That's what I'll say. If you're having the event the same day. If not, maybe move the event a week later. But wait, no, you announced it already. A month late.
Yeah, so my thing with it is like, and Drop, you'll probably remember this too from like back in 2018, because that was around the time when WWE first started doing their deal with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And there's this whole big thing about how, because at the time, the women couldn't go to Saudi Arabia, so they couldn't get that paycheck. They couldn't like participate in there. Like they couldn't even go at all. And so there were a lot of rumors about the Evolution pay-per-view coming up. It was just like, oh yeah, the WWE are going to do an all-women's pay-per-view, and a lot of the online chatter was like, oh, they're just doing this to kind of make amends for the women not being able to take place in any of the Saudi events now. So there was already that negative aspect when it came to Evolution. Now the show was actually it was pretty good. There were some good matches on there. Now when it comes to Evolution 2, yeah, this just sucks. Like, and I kind of agree. Like, this is just another way for WWE to just kind of play around with this thing to be like, oh, well, it didn't do well, so we just can't do an all-women's show. Sorry, it just doesn't make any money, which is bullshit. If anything, your women's division is way better than it was back in 2018. And that's not like a huge knock on the women's division back then, because it was really good. It's just this one's really good. Like a lot better than it was back then. And for you to really do this to your women, seriously, like it's one thing to be on the same weekend as like All In or whatever. It's the fact that it's the same day as a Beyonce concert.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking Beyonce, man. Like, you even have freaking Mercedes Money being like, I'm the Beyonce of wrestling. That's how big Beyonce is. And you're gonna have your women's pay-per-view on the same day, Like you can't say, "Oh, it's just coincidence." No.
I already know what they're doing
No.
on that same day. They're gonna crown Mariah as NXT champion on that Great American Bash. I know that for a fucking fact.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and like even just the way they announced it too, it was in a quick video package
Yeah.
during freaking Saturday night's main event. Like I remember when it happened, and I messaged you guys. This is like, oh look, there's our announcement.
Yeah,
right
I know.
there.
Finally promoting it. Finally.
Yeah, I know. I ended up
figured
missing
the
it. I ended up missing it because it was so fast.
Exactly. Like it was that quick.
Mm.
Just so I don't blame anybody for feeling ill will towards it, because it sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. So the next set of news that we'll touch on as well is AEW is going to be moving away from Triller for pay-per-view releases, and this is coming from the Wrestling Observer Radio, to take this with a grain of salt, considering the source that it's coming from. They said right here, in the lead up to the AEW Double or Nothing 2025, questions were raised over the fact that the pay-per-view was not appearing on Triller platform for both those in North America and overseas. This was revealed due to the growing financial troubles experienced by the Triller platform, as explained by Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. I've known this for a long time. Triller is in a real bad financial state. They didn't fly up their 10Q. They're on the verge of being delisted. Their stock is under $1 per share, so they need someone to buy them right now because they're in trouble. It probably plays to something have to do with this. If you're far behind, there's obviously the fear you might not get your money, and I know other people who have done business there are feeling that right now. And although W Nothing, this might be a little recap under here. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, I mean, if I was AEW personally, I would just adapt to the same format WWE is doing with Peacock, because it's like they have the show airing on not just TBS, they also have it airing on HBO Max. So it's like you already have AEW streaming there. Just incorporate the PLEs on there. You already have a home there. Because I feel like if they just worked around that and did it that way, things would just be a lot better. Because we're not in that era anymore where people want to pay $50 or so for a pay-per-view. That was like the early 2000s when a lot of that kind of stuff was going on. I feel like they should just move it to HBO Max.
They really should. And I mean, even if it is like, even if I have to pay a little extra for HBO Max just to kind of compensate for them doing that, so be it. So be it. Like, I'm sure they can like throw other packages in there for it. You know, like, just do that. It'll be easier. And plus, not only that, make it available the next day, please. Especially for those of us who like can't watch the whole thing because it's super freaking long sometimes. Yeah, please. That will make it so much easier for us. That's all I got. I mean, it's also Triller's, in a financial issues, but
it'd be nice also to have like marks. So, for example, if it is available the next day, when you're trying to fast forward, you can have the line that tells you where the match started, the segment. It'd be nice if we could have that as well.
Yeah. So the next thing we'll touch on is Slim Jim to be branded on the announce tables for WWE. I mean, I'll keep it short and simple here. Okay.
So
stupid.
I miswrote this. It's not the announce tables. Oh no. It's the tables. So like the tables that people get thrown through.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, the table that's under the ring. Yeah. Those tables, like the tables that don't be used backstage. God forbid
you're watching the men's Money in the Bank match, and I know LA Knight's probably going to be the guy representing them heavily. Imagine you got tables being incorporated in that match, because tables are allowed. They can do whatever the fuck they want in that kind of match. And you have him pulling out a Slim Jim table. Jeez.
Yeah.
Louise. I'm fine with
my thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I was gonna say I'm fine with it being on the mat or on the side or whatever. That's fine, but I mean it gets a little extreme. And if you start incorporating it on their outfits, I'm not gonna like that either.
No, not at all. Like, my thing with this is like, again, I'm with you. I don't care if it's on the mats. You know, freaking New Japan has a bunch of logos on their mats. Fine, whatever. It doesn't really take away from me. If anything, it gives me a little bit to do when we're doing the sidecast. Like, oh, we're sponsored by freaking Morgan and Morgan. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. The tables thing bothers me because here's the thing. Pro wrestling is supposed to be a simulated fight. Correct. You know, we're simulating a fight. We're simulating, being put through a table and all that. So, like, we know that these are gimmick tables and chairs and all that. So they're made in order to break easily, or whatever the magic is. You take away that magic, you take away that immersion by putting a damn logo on the weapons, because then you flat out just say this is a prop. Not like, oh, you got put through a table. No, you got put through a Slim Jim table. Like, it's one thing to go on 2K and grab a Slim Jim from underneath the ring and hit somebody with it, because, they have that weapon in there. That's one thing.
They have a Slim Jim, like a stick, like a Slim Jim stick?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you can use it as a weapon in the game?
Mm-hmm. See, and that's fun. That's at least fun. Because, hey, it's a freaking video game. You should have fun in a video game. But, like, in real life, in kayfabe, if you will, you're pulling out a freaking Slim Jim table. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I didn't mind the mat ring because I've seen it in UFC, so I'm already used to. To me, it's stupid having Fortnite or Slim Jim in the middle of your mat, because that technique should go to the main company on the mat. WWE, like, you should be taking and holding that spot. But hey, if you want to give it to fucking Slim Jim, who's been your longest sponsor, and a big, reference and homage to Randall Savage, and we have a new Slim Jim commercial with Jey Uso, LA Knight, and who was it? Who else? Who else was it?
I have no idea.
Miles Bourne was also in it, and a few other NXT superstars.
Oh,
Jey
okay.
Uso was.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles Bourne, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and two other NXT superstars was in the commercial.
That was like
so
the latest one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the latest one. I think it got released like a day or two ago. So cool commercial, cool opportunities, and that's my only positive thing about Slim Jim. But the negative thing, the tables, I don't give a fuck. Please don't. But hey, if you are gonna put it, at least make it look nice, like all sleek black, and then just slap the Slim Jim logo in the middle. That's it. Don't try to be too complicated. Don't try to add a whole crazy prop. Don't try to add stickers to the legs and have that, look all beefy. Please don't. I'm good.
So the last set of news, so we can close out our news, so we can move on to our last few bits of the show, is, yes, I'll also bring that up as well, because it does tie into it, the Liv Morgan Stalker situation when it comes to what occurred during, I believe this was around the time when I was watching NXT. So there was a report that came out, and it says here from Fightful that a stalker was arrested outside of the WPC on Tuesday morning. Unfortunately for pro wrestlers, like a lot of celebrities, become the subject of a stalker's obsession. Former star Sonya Deville had a terrifying experience in 2020 where a stalker broke into her home with the intention of kidnapping her. Now, a current WWE women's stalker has also been arrested, and this is the report. It comes from Na G. This is a legit stalker was arrested out of the PC tonight, and multiple bags of evidence taken in by police officers. I wish I was making this up. Y'all need help seriously. And SAP confirmed that the stalker has been targeting Liv Morgan, and WD had made aware of this person with authorities being called in, and the bastard is arrested. I'm happy about that because, really fucking weird that you guys are doing this, because I did see another situation also play out that ties into this last night when it came to Roxanne Perez, where somebody doxed her, leaked her address, and they were planning, and it was weird because I saw this account. It says Roxanne, is Roxanne offed yet? I'm not gonna say the word on YouTube because I know they're very specific on that. But that was the name of the account. And it was weird because they had like all these days marked, and then they had, what is tomorrow? June 6, 2025. Like almost like their countdown day of they were gonna like take action and do everything. And I'm like, why the fuck are people? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I could sugarcoat what I said with the account name. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Like, why are people going out here doing this kind of shit? Like, that's just fucking creepy as hell. And I feel really bad because, you know, these people just want to go in there, do their job, have fun, hang out with friends, go on parties, do this and that, win championships, raise their stock. They don't want to encounter this kind of shit. Like, it's just a whole bunch of lowlifes doing this kind of stuff for either attention or because they don't know how to converse with people or anything. Like, it's just really fucking sad that it comes to a point where we see like things like this happen. And it's unfortunate because outside of the wrestling space, I mean, you look at what happened during the 80s and 90s when it came to incidents like this. I mean, there's some people that actually went through and did it, and unfortunately some of those people that we grew up watching on the television or listening to their songs, they're no longer here with us because of that very reason, because of a lot of a lot of fans that stalk people. Like, I know one that comes to mind, I think it was like Christina Grimmie. Something happened like that with her many years ago, if you guys heard of her, where she was doing a signing with fans, and she was, you know, getting, I think she did a couple things for Disney or whatever, but basically, you know, she was really into songs, very creative. A lot of people were really big fans of her. She was doing an autograph signing, which of course, you know, the three of us like going to conventions, meeting our favorite voice actors and stuff, saying, hey, you know, I really appreciated how you brought this character to life, etc., so on, and we have fun, take pictures with them. I mean, you see my display in the back when it comes to certain people that I admired over the years and had fun, just wanted to meet them and just shake their hand, pretty much. And it's like the fact that that woman I mentioned, she had a similar experience. She just wanted to meet her fans, and the person just pulled a gun and just it was at basically the end there. It's just really fucking sad.
To put it simple, when it comes to Liv Morgan Stalker, please don't. Please, guys. And Roxanne, people hating or wanting her to get off, yo, please, get it simple. Be a fan, be respectful, have boundaries when it comes to conventions, be clean, have deodorant, and please don't call the wrestlers by their real names because they have personalities. They have always said this publicly. They have always said, hey, respect us. Don't go to the airplanes. Don't go for us for checkout. They have asked for specific things. We reported a couple months ago as well when it came to Asuka. Same thing. She had her own stalker. And I feel bad for the wrestling, for the wrestlers that are women in this entertainment industry being part of this, and they have to deal with these fans that are being creeped and give the fandom a bad rap, bad name, when there's actually good people that have good hearts. I've seen beautiful content from fans, you know, meeting the wrestlers, you know, giving great gifts, but there's also that one bad apple that could ruin it for everyone, and that just fucking sucks. Like, Liv Morgan, Stalker, thank you for getting arrested. Thank you for cops. Thank you for the people doing your job. But please do not pass the border. There's a border. There is a boundary that we need to respect when it comes to the people we love and everything. I've been working in the entertainment industry for the past 5 years and less, and I've been to celebrities' houses. I've signed NDAs, I've signed deal memos, and things that, hey, I've gone to celebrity house, I went in, came out, forgot the address. It's simple as that. You cannot stress yourself. You cannot worry about. Yes, cool opportunity. You met the person. Cool. Say hello and bye. When it comes to you hating a wrestler, cool. You hate the wrestler? That's it. You don't need to do nothing else. You don't like the person? Cool. That's it. You don't like the wrestler for no fucking specific reason. That's fine. Don't need to take no action. Don't need to make a Twitter account. Don't need to have a fucking countdown. Just stay home and just say, hey, I don't like the wrestler. Cool. Respect. Move on. Find the next person you don't like. But Watkins, talk to us. What else hates you and what grinds your gears?
Man, parasocial relationships suck. Like, it, because we live in this world now, this society and all that, with, like, you know, media and social media, to be exact, and just with content creation and all that. Like, we feel like we're so much closer to these creators and these actors and actresses than we actually are. And so when things like this happen, yeah, it's kind of a byproduct of the parasocial aspect of just media in general. And man, the only thing I gotta say, don't be weird.
Yeah.
Just don't be weird. It shouldn't be that hard, but I mean, I say that and like people are different, blah blah blah, whatever, but like it really should not be that hard to not be weird. It
No.
really shouldn't. If anything in your mind has you questioning, huh, should I do this? You probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that easy. Like,
should I go into this person's house that I'm unannounced not supposed to go to? You should not.
put yourself in their position. Like, if you're just getting off of an airplane, do you want like 20 people running up to you with like 30 freaking Funko Pops for you to sign? Because like oh my god!
And do you really want them to sign it, or do you actually want to enjoy meeting them? Because isn't that the point of meeting them? Not really just to get them signed and then go sign their stuff on eBay. Like, that's why they don't do it, because you're not a fan. You just want to get their money off their fame, of their stock value, just because, oh, they signed a Funko Pop. I'm going to sell it for $35, make $35 money. Cool. If you need that, cool. That's your hustle. Do your thing. But be an actual fan and go meet the people.
Man. No, fuck that hustle. Like, no, you're not doing that for some, just fuck that hustle. No. One of you guys shared a post earlier today of this girl who randomly met Cody Rhodes on an airplane. She took a picture, and she was very great. You could tell she was very grateful and very happy for it. That's what you do. You don't you just don't do the other shit.
What's funny? Don't. It was accidental. Like, she tweeted like, "Yo, I'm just taking a selfie. I didn't expect the fucking Atlanta nightmare to appear." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, that's so wholesome. That's so wholesome."
Like, just don't be weird.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story. Just don't be weird. You want to meet your favorite people, have fun, enjoy the moment. Don't be doing extreme shit like this. So,
Jesus Christ, people.
So now we're going to move away from our news, and we're going to dive into our turnbuckle tidbits. And this part of the show is where we talk both about NXT and AEW Dynamite, the good, the bad, and the mediocre at best. So I'm going to pass it off to Watkins. I know he stated earlier that he's not going to spend too much time on this because I know you were tired throughout the show. It was too long. And
oh my God.
I don't blame you. 4 hours is crazy.
The only thing I'm going to say about this in like a analytical standpoint, I guess, is for the first 2 hours that I was awake for it, because after the actual main event ended, which was the Fatal 4-Way for the international title or whatever, there was a lot of segments of people being like, "Oh, we have time, we can fight tonight," and it's like, you already had a card set, and you're adding like multiple matches now for the rest of the night.
So how many matches did they have? Like 12 matches in 4 hours?
Let's see. Let me count right here on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches.
Damn, I was close. I said 12. 10 matches in one night.
So a pay-per-view on live TV, but your main event was freaking Don Callis family taking on Daniel Garcia and the Paragon. Woo. That's freaking literally Fyter Fest, and it's going to be the same next week. I can almost guarantee it. It was basically just, hey, first 2 hours are Dynamite, next 2 hours are Collision, so you don't need to really watch that. Which
so I have a question then. So is 2 hours Dynamite and the other 2 hours Collision, and then they're gonna re-show that episode on Saturday?
I don't think so, because I think there's something else going on Saturday. I just don't know what. I think that's why they're doing these two specials.
Yeah, because on Cage Match, they're kind of separating it, where in Cage Match, they have 5 matches shown on the first 2 hours. And then in the follow-up AEW Collision, episode 96, that one has the other 5 matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they were just doing kind of a back-to-back kind of thing. So if you missed the second 2 hours, don't worry, you didn't miss too much. And you want to know the kicker? You want to know the real kicker with it, too? Because I found this out this morning, too. They still went overtime. They still went past midnight.
So it started at 8 and still went past 12. I'm sorry, bro. I would have been asleep.
Yeah. So
I would have been asleep at the event. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna take a nap.
yeah, I mean, again, like after like the true main event, I was like, nah, I gotta lay down for a bit. Come on, Sydney, let's lay down. So, all right,
I'm still confused when you say true main event. Like when I hear that, I'm like, how many main events do they have?
You'll hear me when I run down everything in order by chance. So it starts off with Will Ospreay coming out. He's challenging Swerve Strickland to a match because hey, Swerve doesn't really want to play ball with him helping out Hangman Adam Page to get the title, so he's just gonna be like, hey, you're in my way, so I'm gonna take you out. Cool, neat, awesome. That match is set for next week. That's gonna be a baller match. The first match of the night was Jon Moxley taking on Mark Briscoe, which was very good. Mark Briscoe continues to be a very bright point for me in AEW, and yeah, he's making a quick fan of me as I'm getting back into that product. But of course, Jon Moxley has to pull out the win because he's world champion. He kind of has to. Timeless Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa took on Julia Hart and Sky Blue. They came out victorious, and you had Mercedes Money on commentary, quote unquote, but not really. She didn't have her headset on and all that, and she was out there eating steak. Toni Storm ate her steak. That's how her.
Yeah, don't even question it, Vash. It's not even worth questioning.
Yeah, it's not at all. After that, MJF and Will Ospreay confronted each other, along with Bobby Lashley confronting Will Ospreay, and that got me kind of hyped for that match. So yes, please give me that. But that's when MJF and the Hurt Syndicate come out. They make their things known, like, hey, MJF wants his world title. We already kind of knew all that. Hurt Syndicate are out there being the Hurt Syndicate. They get they get confronted by Commander Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, who Kevin Knight and Speedball want to face the champions eventually, but of course they have to start winning. They end up beating LFI in quick succession. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. They had a little confrontation with the Hurt Syndicate after that, a little bit of a beatdown and all that, and yeah, they'll have their 6-man match eventually. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. Patriarchy speaks. Christian Cage is still being a horrible father towards Nick Wayne and basically throws him into a fatal 4-way match tonight because of I'm being bad dad now. I'm in my bad dad arc because fuck all your fathers and all that. So yeah, cool, neat, awesome. Max Caster has an open challenge. It gets squashed by Powerhouse Hobbs. That's about it with all that. Because then we get our true main event of the Fatal 4-way.
I have a question. Is Powerhouse Hobbs a reference towards because it reminds me, if anybody remembers, the actual name of Dwayne The Rock Johnson character was Hobbs in the Fast and Furious franchise. So is that like a reference or not? Okay, cool.
No, it's not. So the true main event now, the AEW International Championship was on the line in a fatal 4-way match. Brody King taking on Claudio Castagnoli, Mascara Dorada, and Kenny Omega.
Oh shit, a 20-minute match almost. Holy shit,
yeah,
that's
dude.
a 17-minute match.
This one slapped. This one was fire. Mainly because, again, Kenny Omega was part of it, and he is a freaking wrestling god. But of course, he pulls out the win, pulls out the victory. Out comes Okada to tease their little match. They shove their titles in each other's faces, and we get an announcement later on from Tony Khan saying, hey, this is official now, title for title, winner take all at All In, Okada Omega 5. And yes, 5. If you haven't seen the other 4 matches, highly recommend you go back, watch all of those so you can understand the story between those two, because it's some good shit. Like, it is some, like, you want... They keep saying, oh, the feeling's back in all this. Now, you want to have that feeling again with pro wrestling? Watch that series and get ready for number 5, because they can put on a good old clinic. But now comes the stuff that I didn't get to see, because, hey, again, I kind of fell asleep. So Ricochet was scouting some more people to join him. That's right, you people at home will have the pleasure of viewing 4 hours of AEW, because tonight is Fyter Fest. Yeah, cool, neat, awesome. We didn't like that at all. So Ricochet did not compete in the crappy town that night. People who will follow, who will serve, and do everything that I say to make sure that my quest for gold becomes a reality. He's just looking for followers and all that, so that way he can get a championship in AEW.
He's looking for his Nakama.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking for his Nakama, or since he's a freaking Marine lover, he's looking for some subordinates. So cool, neat, awesome. After that, Will Ospreay took on Leo Rush because Leo Rush had caught him out earlier in the night. When Will Ospreay was talking about freaking Swerve Strickland and all that. So it seems like they had a pretty good match, but following the loss, Leo Rush immediately attacked Will Ospreay alongside his tag team partner Andrade. They were beating him up and all that, and as the attack intensified, Hangman Adam Page stormed the ring to make the timely save, nearly delivering a devastating buckshot lariat, forcing Rush and Andrade to retreat swiftly. Page, concerned for Ospreay, requested medical attention and shared a respectful fist bump with him, signifying mutual respect ahead of their respective upcoming battles. And Page was then passionately addressing the crowd, emphasizing independence and determination regarding his upcoming championship opportunity against Jon Moxley. Page asserted, "I am my own man and I don't need help to win the world title, not from anyone, not even from Will, and especially not from somebody like Swerve Strickland." So he's looking to do this on his own, as he kind of should, but whatever. We want to try to one up WWE with their whole tribal chief thing. So cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. Hangman said, "I will have Will's back," and Will's got his right now. And as the situation grew increasingly volatile, Page and Ospreay stood united, prepared to confront Moxley and his sinister cohorts, setting a dramatic stage for further confrontations leading up to the highly anticipated All-In event. Hangman, please get the title off of frickin' Moxley. Don Callis basically calls out Bandito and the Outrunners for a match. This is following like the whole Adam Cole thing. So Adam Cole, you made a challenge. I've already accepted it. I'm gonna send Don Callis' family, take care of it, all that stuff. Yeah. Next match we got FTR versus Atlantis Jr. and Templario. I didn't really watch the match. I didn't really see much highlights from the match. Looks like FTR won the match. Cool, neat. After the match, Stokely confidently emphasized FTR's dominance, sarcastically noting their repeated victories. He boldly declared FTR as the winningest tag team in AEW history, insisting teams worldwide inevitably fall to FTR. Mid hostile reactions, Stokely sharply dismissed the Denver crowd, closing with a defiant statement, "Top guys out." So cool, they're going on a run. Neat, awesome, fan flippin-tastic. Oh, what is his name? Sorry, I'm actually like reading some of this from the AEW website. I had no idea that Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita had like a name known as Proto-Shita. I don't know. Anyways, they took on Los Outrunners. So, hey, anybody who's mad at El Grande Americano, you're mad at Los Outrunners? No? Well, how's that hypocrisy taste? So they took on Los Outrunners and Bandito. The intense closing moments saw rapid exchanges and near falls. Kyle Fletcher dramatically countered Bandito with a pinpoint accurate kick to the back of the head, decisively shifting the match. Fletcher then executed his punishing brainbuster to pin Bandito and secure a significant win for his team. I'm pretty sure Bandito's still the ROH champion. I haven't heard anything else regarding this, but I guess that gives Kyle Fletcher a reason to maybe go for that title. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. Ty Mello returned, so hey, that's cool. She defended Anna Jay from a Megan Bayne beatdown, so good on you. Glad you're back and all that. Anthony Bowens called out Kyle Fletcher. Cool, neat, fine. I don't have much more to say about that. It'll be a good feud for him. At least Anthony Bowens is actually finally doing something. Now the ROH World Television title was on the line, like I said earlier, with Nick Wayne having to defend against Sammy Guevara, Lee Johnson, and AR Fox. I saw a couple spots from this, mainly the AR Fox like middle rope like Hurricane Rana thing. I thought that looked kind of cool. It looked kind of neat. But the pivotal moment came when AR Fox ascended to the top rope, preparing for a decisive aerial move. However, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne's mama distracted Fox, allowing Nick Wayne to capitalize. Wayne quickly delivered a precise spin kick to Fox's head from the top rope, stunning him. Wayne then decisively executed the Pain Driver, securing the pinfall and successfully retaining his ROH World Television Championship. Cool, neat, awesome. Again, I didn't get to watch much of the second half of Fyter Fest. But hey, Tekla made her AEW in-ring debut by defeating Lady Frost. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. Sorry I couldn't watch it. I couldn't even watch some of the highlights today. That's how busy I was today. Like, I couldn't even do any of that. But after the match, Tekla continued her assault, viciously pulling at Frost's mouth and face in a brutal display. However, her relentless attack was halted by Queen Aminata, whose presence immediately backed Tekla off. With a defiant smile, Tekla retreated, clearly unfazed and satisfied with her impactful debut and confrontational introduction to AEW. I guess Queen Aminata will now get squashed by Tekla and all that until I guess they decide to use Jamie Hayter again, because I guess we're not capitalizing on that again. We're not gonna do anything with that. I mean, she was only punched last week, and like, there's no reason she shouldn't have been here this week. Whatever, cool, neat. Main event time. Don Callis family, which was Lance Archer, Josh Alexander, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero, took on Daniel Garcia and the Paragon, which is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Again, didn't get to see much of the match, but the finish unfolded dramatically as Cole attempted another Panama Sunrise on Trent Beretta, who countered. However, amid a chaotic exchange, Cole regained momentum, hitting Rocky Romero with the decisive The Boom knee strike to secure the pinfall victory for his team. I know I didn't get into much with that whole description of what happened at Fyter Fest, but hey, it was 4 hours long. I didn't get a chance to watch half of it before tonight, which sucks, but hopefully next week I'm able to watch that 4-hour show and maybe give a little bit more insight on some things. But like, why was this the main event? Like, your main event should have been for the international title, but I guess if they're separating it between, oh, here's the Dynamite segment and here's the Collision segments, fine, I guess. It's just, you still went over time in 4 hours. Come on. Like, people have jobs, people have work, people have lives outside of wrestling. You're going to have a 4-hour event that goes overtime starting at 8 o'clock at night. I don't know, man. It just sucks, but I'm still here with AEW. It's great. There's some great things on it, but like, there's also things that's just like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this way and all that? But God, I need some water. While I'm drinking some water, Drop, you've got NXT. How was NXT this week?
So when it came to NXT, pretty much the show started, and we had our opening segment being one of those things where they're building to the North American title match at Worlds Collide. When it comes to Ethan Page defending his title against Javon Evans, Leonardo Kid, and I believe the other name is Ray Phoenix. So that's basically how we open up NXT, just building up to that, talking about their opportunities there. And it was also building up to the 6-man tag match that I will talk about a little bit later. So pretty much everybody that was featured here is also going to be a part of this 6-man tag match, along with an appearance of Dragon Lee in the back. So after that, we had our first match being Dark State taking on Chase U, and it was a pretty easy win for Dark State. They're continuing their momentum. They haven't been beaten yet, which I do like, because if you want to take this faction seriously, that's the way to do it. But at the same time, we need to start doing something with Dark State outside of winning matches and keeping momentum. Have them do something that really puts a hold.
Would you suggest or recommend for them going for the tag titles against Tank and Hank?
No, if you want to, sure, but like you got to do something to actually make yourself matter to warrant an opportunity like something like that. Like I don't want to like introduce somebody, be like, okay, let's put a championship around this person just to make them matter now. Like their whole statement when they came here, they were attacking a lot of the top players. So you really need to establish exactly what their motivation is, because we don't know what their motivation is. We just know they've been targeting all these people. They never really told us what their motivation is when it comes to something that actually matters. So that's what I mean by that. I mean, if you want me to play it off, that's like the same thing. I'm not gonna even get into that. We'll save that for tomorrow, for Why at 6. But we have but we also had Miles Bourne take on Charlie Dempsey in a rounds match. So pretty much they were going up against one another. It's kind of similar to like the Heritage Cup, where where they basically were going up against each other like each round, and whoever pulled off more than the other person, let's say if it was tied 2-2, whoever got that last win, they're able to win the match itself. But pretty much the whole meaning behind this match is that Miles was saying that he really wants to really branch out and like try to do more things for him so it could really build his stock and everything. And Charlie Dempsey says, oh, you can't do it. You haven't even beaten me yet. So obviously Miles won this match and he's able to go off on his own and do what he needs to do, which I do like this because I feel like he has a lot of potential. And if you want to use this opportunity to create new stars, that's one way to do it. So we had Tyra May Steele. She had her debut match. She is the LFG Season 1 winner, and she had her debut match against Ariana Grace. She wins her debut match pretty much just there to showcase.
It's a great match. I didn't see it fully, but I saw the highlights of it. Good match for them to kind of showcase her. Ariana Grace did a good type of sell for some of the spots, and I felt like it did a good highlight for her for her first showcase on on TV, on Netflix worldwide. So I feel like that's fucking amazing for her.
Yeah, sure. Just basically, she's gonna have to run through a couple of people for the time being, because I mean, what I'm about to currently dive into, she doesn't really have any time for that. Maybe you could do something with her a little bit later. Like even when it comes to the mid card division, she doesn't really fit there right now, because the whole story right now is between Zarya and Soruka. So that's occupied. Obviously, what I'm about to talk about next is occupied. So maybe she can have a feud with somebody that really helps her in a way, whatever. So be it. But I basically want to talk about this next, because this is probably one of the highlights for me. Is you had JC Jane come out. She ended up calling everybody fickle, telling them not to follow her now that she's champion, which I don't really think anybody was following you to begin with, but so be it. And then we had the whole locker room come out. We had Jordan Grace come out. We had Jada Parker come out. But we had I think there was another girl. I forgot the name of her. But we also had, like, Thea. Basically, the whole locker room came out to confront her and everything. And then the lights went out. And then it faded. And then the camera panned over to this side. And then you saw Mariah May pretty much on, like, that stand that a lot of people are on during NXT when they're calling out somebody or whatever. And she made her debut here, so she didn't waste any time heading to WWE. She pretty much, the next Tuesday that was open, she pretty much made her debut there, and she pretty much said that she has arrived. She's going to be the next NXT Women's Champion, and in women's division. And she says that I'm here with the best women's division. Now it's time for it to get more glamorous. So she's definitely aligned to dethrone that title off of JC Jane. I think that's kind of obvious, because she got the special treatment there. And like I spoke about with Watkins earlier, I want to be surprised in the slightest, because Great American Bash takes place on the same day as All In. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they belt her that exact day. She is winning that belt within a month.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked about that.
Yeah, it's more a question of when, not if.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, as we spoke earlier, her name. I love how she used the word glamorous. It reminds me of the song. It also gives me a quick reminder. Also gives me the quick reminder of Edge's wife's name as well.
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix as well as her slogan. I forgot how it went. Not glamorous.
Glamour. The Glamazon.
Yeah, the Glamazon. So it kind of. Gives me a bit of reminder of that. So it's kind of cool. That's kind of unique, because not a lot of people use that type of run-on slogan type of one-liner. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, she pretty much has the whole nickname she had in AEW, and she's carrying it over here, which is nice because it fits her. So makes sense why that's still there. And then, obviously, what I spoke of earlier, where the show opened, we had Javon Evans, Lario Kid, Dragon Lee, and Shawn Legacy took on Ethan Page and the Vanity Project, which is a team from Evolve. And it was an 8-man tag match. The babyface team won, which is Javon, Ricardo Kid, Dragon Lee, and Shawn Legacy. Pretty good match all around. They have a lot of good competitors within that ring. I was not surprised in the slightest. And then, of course, we had our main event where it was Trick putting his TNT World Title on against Mike Santana. It was a very good match between the both of them. It seems like Trick works very well with people that are like a little above him when it comes to the sort of wrestling ability that I've noticed when it came to like people like Ilya Dragunov and other people that he came in contact with. It seems like they really bring the best out of him. And this isn't definitely their last match because Trick Williams did win this match via pinfall because of AJ Francis and KC's interference here. I don't watch TNA, so I don't know if Mike Santana has some sort of thing going on with him during TNA when it comes to AJ Francis and KC taking part in this, but they're the reason why Trick was able to win this match. But I talked about it with a couple friends. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with TNA, but I do know that Mike Santana is in New York. He is from New York, and he did in the Slammiversary pay-per-view is also taking place there next month in July, so I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if you belt him around that time, because it definitely feels like he's there to take the belt off of Trick, which I feel like is he's earned it, because I did see the match that he had with Alexander Hammerstone. I'm not Hammerstone. What's the other guy's name with the headgear?
Josh Alexander.
Yeah, Josh Alexander. I saw them having like I Quit match and a couple other things as well. So he's very good. He definitely deserves it.
Oh, he's great. I saw him in person last year when I went to my first event at House of Glory.
Yeah, he's a champion.
He was fucking amazing. I saw him versus Zillafatu, or they did a tag match or something like that, and it was a pretty cool, pretty fucking amazing spectate. So I wouldn't mind that. When it comes to AJ Francis and KC, from the only thing I saw on the timeline is that AJ Francis interrupted the match because he hasn't got any opportunities for the title match. So instead of him waiting, or instead of finding time, he wanted to, strike first to do a favor so he could get the opportunity. That's what I saw from the timeline, being the case.
All
yeah,
right.
I saw that tweet too earlier, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's why you did it. All right.
Yeah, so it kind of lines up of why he kind of butcher, Mike Santana. Like, hey, I'm gonna take my chance, and that's what he did. So it makes sense. So I wouldn't be shocked, because if I remember correctly, TNA films on Thursdays, I believe, or on sometimes Sundays like that. So I know we might see some clips like that online of them doing like a runway or like a follow-up of what happened this past Tuesday. So I can't wait to see that, because I'm hoping to see how they're going to continue with NXT. Like, are they going to not intersect, since he is since Trick Williams is the TNA world champion, but he's an NXT superstar, so they're gonna have to bounce back to shows, or Trick has to show up. So I'm just curious to see how the next month and a half goes until the next person that wins it. Like we said, that could be Max Santana. So I'm here for the story. I can't wait to see for this, and Trick having his opportunity. Hoping he runs with it good and the people are impressed.
Yeah. So that's basically all of my thoughts on NXT. Like I said, I wanted to keep it brief because there really was only so much I really wanted to talk about when it came to that taping. But now we're at the end of our show, so we basically covered everything that we needed to talk about when it came to our weekly news, NXT and AEW coverage. We talked about the big topics surrounding R-Truth and of other things revolving around WWE. We also gave our Money in the Bank predictions. So yeah, do you guys have any other thoughts before I close this out?
Me, the only thing I would say that really has me sighing again is excuse me, guys. It's just my sinus has been fucked up today, so I've just been going in and out. No, it's not nothing. But out of the other way, the thing that got me sad when Drops mention his name against R-Truth. Like, that's somebody who I've been watching for many years, knowing that he's been like the face, the comedy, the entertainment of what we have seen, knowing the history of what he's been part of, and knowing that he's at this age, looking this good, doing what he does, still being funny, still being casual. It's like, being with Solo this past Friday, knowing that his last match was with John Cena, all those things, is like, damn. And now that we might not see him on TV again, knowing how questioning this company, like, yo, why are you treating R-Truth like this? Like, those type of small things pain me, because like, I love this product, but I don't want to be tainted by people saying that, hey, we have the freedom now. Like, do we actually have the freedom? Was this actually like a snake all along? So, like, I'm just hoping to see what's going to be next for the next couple of months. That's what I'm happy but / curious. And, Money in the Bank is the weekend, so let's see how that unfolds. Since we have a lot of news, a lot of segments to discuss, but we can't forget Money in the Bank. So hopefully to see what happens, and please do not give it to El Gran Americano. I will be hella upset. So yeah, that's that.
I dare you.
Please don't.
Dare you.
Please don't.
Yeah.
You might not even have me on the show if that happens. I would literally be like, yo, fuck this, I'm out. If we do a sidecast, it'd be like, yo, y'all see me Monday. Fuck this bullshit.
Yeah, that pretty much means we have a shorter show, Watkins, if that's the case.
I'll be like, fuck this bullshit. I don't got nothing to say. And Gandhi who? And Gandhi who? What the fuck?
We'll just come on here and we'll play 2K25 and we'll give the correct results.
I'll just set up my camera of me putting my Switch if it comes that night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll have some fun with Switch 2.
Yeah, some Switch 2 content on Twitch / Anime Studio. You can see us play some content.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It depends on what you do tomorrow, WWE. All I gotta say is just do better.
Do better. Definitely. So, with that in mind, guys, I do want to thank you all for listening to Grappling the Week. And before we head out, as always, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. The basic ones you guys know: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. So on. Our ats are right here when it comes to Anime Studio. Obviously, the Weebs of the Ring, Legendary Vash, Drop This Flock, Watkins MW. And also, be sure to use the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us before, during, or after our shows. Feedback is always appreciated, as we are nothing without you guys tuning in. Grappling with the Week is presented by NOE Studio. Thanks to our production team for all your hard work. Thank you for joining us, and shout out to Stu, which we are taking really good care of, for helping recording this podcast. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you for tomorrow's coverage of Friday Night SmackDown. Hopefully we have some things to talk about. Hopefully WWE does something to at least intrigue us in any sort of way. But see you guys tomorrow.
A 3-hour show, guys. Woo! Woo!